Elite Total Body Care and private label hair care company. So, this morning I wanted to come on and do a quick story time for you guys. If you guys were on my live this past Saturday, you know that I took a hiatus for 2 weeks from all social media. I was fasting, which is a better words to use. Fasting myself from social media, and I did that for 12 days, but I was actually off of social media for about 2 weeks, going on 15 days. Anyway, in between that time, I did mention to you guys about a client that I had during that season of me going through a lot with my family, a lot around me, and let me just say it like this: people don't respect hairstylists as a career. They look at being a hairstylist or a nail tech or a makeup artist, they look at that as a hobby, and they don't respect that particular career choice, because it is an actual career. Like, for us to become cosmetologists, you do have to go to school for 1,200 hours. It does require you to take a state board. It does require you to be licensed in your state. Now, some states are trying to do it where it doesn't require a license any longer, but I am not in one of those states that it's not required. I am in a state where having a cosmetology license is definitely a requirement. Does everyone adhere to that? No. But at the same time, is it something that I take very seriously? Yes. It's a career choice. It's not something that, let me move this down. It's not something that, let me wait till I get to the light, that I take for granted. I went to school for 2 years to get these 1,200 hours, okay? So cosmetology school is not going to school for 3 months like becoming a CNA, okay? It's not one of those types of careers. You actually have to go to school for over a year to become a licensed cosmetologist in the state of Florida. There are some states like New York where it's not even 1,200 hours. It could be 1,600 hours. It can be 2,000 hours, okay? So there are states where the licensing portion of it is very intense. There we go. Sorry, I needed to fix my camera. It's intense. So I say that to say this, because one thing I've always learned being a licensed cosmetologist is that it is the most disrespected job or career there is, because people take what we do for granted, and people they don't take it as serious as it should actually be taken, right? On top of being a licensed cosmetologist, I'm also a trichologist. I'm also an international educator. I don't use those terms just because they sound cute. I use them because I achieved them and I worked hard to get those actual certifications. So I feel that in my profession, I'm what you consider a master in hair care or cosmetology. Why? Because number one, I portray myself as that. Number two, I have the training as that. And number three, I run an actual business where that is the business or the nature of the business that I'm in. All right. So I needed to give you guys that synopsis at the beginning so you can understand the whole context going forward as to why this day really just rubbed me the wrong way. So in the midst of going through the storm that my family and myself was going through, okay, I'm not going to say just me, my family and myself was going through, I had to in turn cancel all of my appointments, okay? I understand that what I do is a ministry. I understand that what I do is something that God has blessed me with when it comes onto my two hands, because I have to have my two hands to do what it is that I'm doing, okay? But I also have to have knowledge, and I have to be clear-minded and level-headed for me to also be able to do what I'm doing. And if I can't do that at that time, then I can't do that at that time, and I need to cancel my appointments. Now, I'm going to ask you guys a question real quick, and I just want a quick answer. If you had to go into surgery this morning, whether it be for your toe, your ear, to remove a wart, to remove a little whatever, skin tag, whatever it may be, remove an ingrown toenail, whatever. Would you not want the person that's working on you to be clear-minded and level-headed? If you agree that you need to make sure that the person that you're dealing with is clear-minded and level-headed, put a 1 in the chat. Because remember, they're working on you. So they're giving you something that is going to be changing you, whether it be whatever. So you want to make sure that that person is in the right headspace, right? Let me fix my little wig here. They're in the right headspace, okay? Their mind is in the right place. Because if your mind is not in the right place, can you focus? Can you work? If you're going through something that is devastating to yourself or your family, can you physically be at work and in tune and work with people and know what you're doing? Okay, so everybody's on the same page here. All right, good. Because see, people think that you're invincible as a person. You don't have feelings. They think that they can do anything and say anything and you just gonna take it. Okay? Nah, not me. Definitely not me. So in the midst of the storm that I was going through at that time with my family, I canceled all of my appointments because I needed to get things in order. Okay? The good thing about life is that the Lord has blessed me with the ability to own my business. I control my pay, I control my bills, and I pay my own bills. I pay all of my expenses. I don't work under someone who tells me when to clock in and clock out. So if I feel like clocking out today, that's what I'm doing. Point blank, period. If I feel like today is not the day for me to go to work because something happened with one of my children, something happened at home, or if something happened to my dog and I don't want to go to work today, I am not going. That is the luxury of owning your own business. But like I said on my live on Saturday, owning your own business also comes with a price. Okay? So, last week or week before, whatever day it was, it don't even matter the day, I had to cancel all of my appointments that Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay? So when I canceled, I text everybody and canceled the appointments. And for Friday, I was canceling those appointments on Thursday. And because my mind was so boggled and bazzled down, and I had so much going on around me, which that's another story time all on its own. We'll get there. Because I had so much going on around me, it slipped my mind that I needed to cancel the Friday appointments. So I woke up at 6 a.m. and had to call everybody. Or actually, I didn't call because it's disrespectful to call people at 6 a.m. in the morning. But I texted everybody and was telling them, hey, unfortunately, I have a family emergency because it ain't nobody's business what I'm going through at that time, right? I'm not explain myself to anybody, right? Regardless if I'm an entrepreneur or not, I owe no one anything that I have to explain anything. But because I am a professional, I did let them know, hey, I have a family emergency, and unfortunately, I'm going to have to reschedule you. Now, being Crystal doesn't like to disappoint people, especially when it comes on to her work. But I'm also one where I know if I got to step away, I got to step away, and that's just what it is. Okay? So everybody except for one client in particular understood what I said, okay? Without me saying, hey, I'm going through blah, 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 like I told on the story, not even a story, I just told on Saturday, that it's a family emergency. From you see the two words family and emergency, you got to understand, right? Anyway, one client in particular did not understand and made life about themselves, because that's people in this world. They're very selfish and they're very in tune for their self. One client in particular messages back, that's not going to work for me. I scheduled my life around this appointment and that's my fault. Absolutely. That's your fault. I don't schedule my life around no damn appointment. Especially not when I'm dealing with people. I don't schedule my life around people. The only things that I'll schedule my life around is when it's a life-threatening surgery, or I'm in the hospital, or something of that nature. But a hair appointment, I'm not going to schedule my life around. I'm sorry. It is of no importance of that nature that I have to schedule my life around that. I will throw on a wig and deal with it. Your wedding day might be a day you say you scheduled your life around. Yes. Okay? Because you don't get that day back. But a standard hair appointment, baby, I can appreciate. Okay? I can appreciate that people invest themselves into my business. I can appreciate it. I thank God for it. But I will tell people at the end of the day, it is a hair appointment, baby. A temporary service. We're not giving you permanent locks. Okay? Okay, we're not doing any of that. Right? This is a hair appointment. So when the response came, I looked at it and I said, all right, me being me now in the midst of my storm. And I was in the midst of the storm, okay? I said, you know what? No problem. I'm going to figure something out. I'll message you right back. Why me go fuck up myself and go do that? Me no know. But me do it anyway, okay? So I told the person that they can come at 11 and I'll service them. In the midst of my life happening, and this is a serious time. People don't know what you're going through at what time of day and when, right? People don't know what you're going through at what time of day and when you are going through it. But because the world is so selfish and self-centered, they don't care that you are going through something. Nor do they even seem to even want to acknowledge that you are just as human as they are. Okay, and that's why I said at the beginning about me being a cosmetologist. That's why I introed the video that way, because people forget that I don't give a damn if I'm the Pope. He got life, and he's a man first before he's the Pope. Okay, the president, as bad as Donald Trump was, he's a man first before he's president. So he has flesh and blood before he has a title. Okay. People forget that. Pastors, same thing. They are flesh and person first before they are a pastor. They are a man or a woman first. Okay? So I'm saying that because people got to get this concept in their head that life does not revolve around you. And while you might be in your own damn bubble, okay, that bubble does not come into other people's space. You keep your bubble where you are, but my life doesn't center around your bubble. All right. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to bring my kids with me. Mind you, this is on a Friday, you guys, or a Thursday. No, this is on a Friday. This is a Friday. I bring my children with me. So if that tells you that I have my children with me on a Friday when they should be in school, that means that we are going through something while they are with me. Okay. I go to the warehouse that morning. And when I go to the warehouse, another storm comes. Okay. When the devil attacks, he attacks everything, not just one. He attacks any and everything that is around you, no matter what it is. It can be your car won't start and it got gas in it. And the only reason why it didn't start is because your gas cap was off. It'll be little things like that he will attack. Okay? So when I get to the warehouse, another storm comes. And I'm dealing with that storm in the midst of my family storm. About 2 hours into being at the warehouse, which is about 8:30 a.m., another storm comes. Now this is a storm with my kids' school. Okay, so I'm going through 3 storms that all wrap into one. But I still said, no problem, because I could have canceled her ass right then and there. Excuse my language. I could have canceled her and said, me not give a damn where you circle your life pan. But me being the unselfish person, I said, you know what? She centered her life around this appointment, I'm going to still service her. All right, good. Around 10:50, because I'm dealing with this storm, the warehouse is about 12 minutes from the salon. Okay, so I'm dealing with a storm, not noticing that the time is going. So around 10:50, I'm racing from the warehouse to get to the salon. On my way there, I'm on a very important call, trying to weather through one of the storms. Okay, trying to weather through it, trying to change the weather report on one of the storms. And I'm on my phone and I see the person calls my phone, but I couldn't answer because I'm weathering through a storm. And all you're calling me to tell me is that you're at the salon. All right, no problem. I'm on my way there. I'm sorry I couldn't answer your call at that time. I'm sorry you were not of that much importance that I needed to cut off weathering through a very serious storm just for you to grace me with your voice. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's never gonna be that serious for me. Okay, I know how to cut my life between the two, and I know there's gonna be a couple of you that'll sit on this live and be like, I don't like her attitude. Good thing you don't sit in my chair, because guess what? At the end of the day, this is what you get. I'm straight to the point, and I am the person that I am, and I built my business the way I did because I'm an honest person. I'm gonna tell a lie. I don't lie around how I'm feeling. It's just how I'm feeling. Okay, if the world did things this way, we'd be in a better place and we wouldn't be dealing with so many ass people. Okay. Tutus now, I'm about 4 minutes from the salon. It's 10:58. So I'm about 2 minutes late. But the fact that I'm on my way there and I'm not coming in an hour late says a lot. The fact that I'm in the midst of my storm, I'm still coming to service you because you circled your life around my appointment, no problem. Why this person sends me a text message, and I wish I wasn't on my live on this phone because I could read it verbatim. And the text message now says, I do not want you to service my hair. I'm not comfortable with you any longer. Cancel my appointment. I'm leaving. To this moment, we don't have no conversation. To this moment, we have not said a word. Okay? To this very moment, I have not said a word other than I'll see you at 11 in the midst of what's going on in my life, around my circle of my life. So, my first mind, I'm going to be honest, y'all, because remember, I had already said I wanted to cancel the appointment because I was not in the right headspace to be able to give you 100% of me. And when you are dealing with alopecia clients, you have to be able to see clearly and think clearly, because you're doing damn near magic in your hands. Like, you're damn near doing miracles. Because some of these clients, you can't just look at it and say, yep, let's go. If you guys see my videos, you know that it takes pure creativity to make this thing look right and work and have longevity. For the prices that I'm charging, which is not much because they're going up. Okay? For the prices that I'm charging, I need to make sure that I can give you me even at least 80%. And that day, I was on 10% of myself. Okay? And that day, I was 10% of myself. So did you guys hear the number I said? I need to be able to give you at least 80%, even 75% of me. That day, I was 10% of myself. Okay? This wig is really bothering me because it keeps slipping back, but we're just gonna deal with it. Anyhow, let me park because I can finish the little story time. Anyhow, when she sends me that text, mind you guys, during this moment, I'm fasting. I was fasting at this point. And I said, okay, Crystal, because I was livid. Okay? Because now at this point, I had circled my life around this damn appointment. I sat back at the stoplight. My kids were in the back seat. And when I sat back, my first mindset was to send her a nice message. And that message was going to be, bitch, you said that this appointment was circled around your life. Tap, 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 tap. Okay? You also made it a big damn deal that I needed to cancel your appointment because my life does not exist amongst anything other than yours. I was put on this planet to service you and you alone. Okay? These were my thoughts. All right? These were my thoughts. Furthermore, your dumbass decides that you want to make this day about yourself, and I position myself to come and help you. These are the things that stylists say, okay? Okay. Lastly, I can appreciate that you don't trust me to do your hair. So why the F did you book an appointment not even knowing me, and you trusted me and gave me your deposit knowing that I could do your hair, and you damn near trusted me at that point, not even seeing anything other than my work and my face. You never actually spoke to me. You know nothing about me. You don't even know my actual name. Okay? All you know is that it starts with a C and ends with an L. I've never been in your presence, nor have I cared enough to be amongst yours. These were my thoughts. Okay. Oh, and I forgot your appointment because my life is also okay? Those were my thoughts. And you know what my thoughts also came behind me and said? After Crystal had already had this whole 5-minute message that she was going to type up on geek to your ass, okay? After Crystal already knew what she was going to say to you, because Crystal, people forget that because I run a business, I am not named Crystal Antoinette Williams, who was born on June 22nd. Okay, I was born during the day. I wasn't born in the dirt. I wasn't born on a wall. I was born from my mother in the city of Evanston, Illinois. I am a human being. I have flesh, I have blood, and it bloods, it bleeds. I think, I have anger. I have all these things. Mind you, you know what my response really was? Because God spoke to me and said, Crystal, I'm trying to teach you to be better. Handle this a better way. Do you guys know what my response was? Can you guess what my response was? I gave her 3 words. No problem. Actually, I gave her 4 words. I'm sorry. No problem. Be blessed. After you guys just heard my thoughts of what I was going to tell her ass that day. So if God is not working on my body and my mind, listen, he worked on me. He worked on me at that very moment, because in the midst of my storm, I could have told her what to kiss, who for go suck, where she can't go lick, and where to leave me alone. But I didn't. All I said was, no problem, be blessed. In the midst of that 20-minute message that I was going to give it to, I was going to read her card and make her know, don't play with me. Because you just played with me. Okay. At that moment, y'all, I turned my car around and I said, God, you know what you're doing. Because I did not need to be at work that day. I needed to deal with what I was dealing with because it was very important. See, what a lot of people didn't know is even in the midst of this storm, I had to take my children out of their school, uproot them, and put them into a private school. Okay? In the midst of this private school, we go through an entire week of registration to only be told 10 minutes before her appointment that Friday that unfortunately we're not going to be able to register one of your children. After going through an entire week of registration and my children being out of school. Okay? So 10 minutes before your appointment that I did not have to do because I wanted to cancel it anyway, knowing that I was only 10% available to you in my mind, I still went against my better self, not being selfish, but being selfless and going to service this person. This is why I tell people you don't know what a person is going through. So think before you do something. Think before you have transgression with that person. My husband uses that term a lot. Don't have transgression with people. You don't get blessed that way. If you have transgression, then guess what? That means that you have a problem with that person and you don't need to deal with them from the beginning. Okay. So I U-turned my car. Now, don't get me wrong, you guys. I'm human as hell. On the inside, I wanted to just slap the hell out of her. Okay? Because you had just wasted my time. I had to position my life around that now. I positioned my life around a person, and I would never do that again. Is that a bird? Okay. Anyhow, I go on about my day. Very frustrated, very stressed. It was just like everything was just piling up on me that day, and it was just a crazy day. I get through the day. I go home that night. I sit down, and I just woosah through the entirety of the day. Anyway, that Saturday morning, because this happens Friday. Saturday morning, I get up around 5:30, 6 o'clock. And when I get up, I said, oh man, let me go ahead and refund this lady from yesterday. Okay? Because I could have easily kept her deposit and said, well, you canceled. I didn't. And could have went on about my day. But I said, something said, no, release her 100% before you harbor her up. And then you end up having to really hurt somebody's feelings. So I got up around that morning and I said, you know what, let me go ahead and refund her. But in order for me to refund her, I have to cancel the appointment first because I want to make sure that it doesn't show on my books. Right? Number two, I'm also making it where she could not book an appointment with me ever again. So in order for me to do that, I needed to cancel the appointment. And then I was going to go ahead and refund her at the midst of the cancel because that was the right thing to do in my heart. I don't need to keep your money. I'm not hard up for damn money. I work very hard for my money. And the last thing that I'm going to do is let you think you're going to hold me hostage for a damn deposit. That is a lie. Okay? Anyhow, I go ahead and I do all step 1, 2, and 3, cancel the appointment, ban the client, and refund the deposit immediately. Okay? Regardless of if I am to refund you or if I'm to keep the money, I still got to pay the fees to my card processor. Okay? People don't know these things unless you run a business. No matter if you refund the client, you don't get your money back that you paid in fees for that actual charge. That was all right with me. That wasn't a big deal. I'll take that $2 for peace of mind. I go, do what I said I was going to do, give her back her deposit, which is how she paid. I refunded it back. And then that system will send you an email letting you know your appointment was canceled and that you got a refund. Anyway, I'm laying there because I feel like, okay, you know, I'm just dealing with whatever I'm dealing with. That's the least of it. I had just finished reading my Bible and all that stuff because I'm trying to get into this thing where I wake up every morning and the first thing that I do instead of me just going to my social media is read my Bible, talk to God, pray. Thank God for waking me up. Thank God for everything that happened the day before. All these different things. These are the different things that I had to tell myself is the right thing to do because I know it is. All of a sudden, I look down at my phone because, you know, my phone rings all day, all night because people find my actual phone number and they think that I'm awake at 3 a.m. to talk about why their hair is thinning. So I have my phone on vibrate. Okay. I look down and I see a text message. So when I pick up the phone and look at the text message, it's this same woman from yesterday. I did not cancel my appointment. I expect a refund immediately. I'm going to just turn and say, what on that? Oh, God, give me a second. Let me say, yes, the devil will ride this Ross lady. Okay? The devil is riding your back. And today is the day I'm going to give it to her, man. I'm going to give it to her. This is my mind again. So I went to pick up my phone and text back how I felt. And something said, no, don't text her back. Call her. So I called her instead. When I called her, something spoke to me and said, Crystal, we're going to see how you handle this and you better handle it the right way. Because I was going to handle it in my way and tell her about our clot. Okay? All right. So when she answers the phone, I've always been taught that when you answer the phone, to take down the tension, you smile. So I'm on the phone like this. She picks up the phone. Hello. Like you picking it up. Hello. Like we fucking friends. Excuse my language. Like we're damn friends. I didn't mean to drop the F-bomb. And I say, hi, good morning. This is Crystal from Elite Hair Care. Good morning. How are you? Siemso. Okay? I'm okay. I said, well, I'm not okay. So I just wanted to call you. I got your message because something just changed my whole demeanor of how I was going to deal with this lady, right? I said, I got your message and I can completely appreciate how you were feeling yesterday, but I feel like your message this morning is unwarranted and you woke up with some sort of vendetta that you wanted to have with me. And unfortunately, just like you, I'm human and I have problems just like you. And what I don't appreciate is that after the fact, you're still sending me messages when I've already refunded you. Mind you, this lady had already been refunded. But you still sent this message trying to be messy and nasty because the devil is on top of you and he's using you to piss me off. He used you to piss me off. So in the midst of him using you to piss me off, how I handle it is going to determine if I'm growing. Okay. So instead of me calling her and saying, lady, let me tell her about your bumbo blah, 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 blah. I simply said with a kind voice, I don't appreciate what you sent me. At the end of the day, just like you, I'm human and I'm going through things just like you would. So I can appreciate that you were upset, that unfortunately you did not want me to do your hair the day before, that you felt uncomfortable with me. But at the end of the day, I have things going on just as well. And I would always say in the future, you don't know what a person is dealing with. You don't know what a person is going through. So I would change my tone when you're dealing with people because you don't know if that one day will become you. Simpson. Y'all know what she turned around and said? Well, I did not appreciate. Well, I know because I can hear from her accent that she too was Jamaican. So I already knew this is a nasty ass lady. Okay, I'm sorry to say it so, but you see, my people are not the nicest kind because they like to play victim a lot and they like to make things into themselves. And I could tell by just what she said between yesterday and today that you're a narcissist and you probably are alone. Okay. She turns around and says, well, I don't appreciate that you did not make it to my appointment and I had to pay this deposit in contingency that you'd show up to my appointment, blah, 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 blah. And I said, exactly. That's why I refunded you your deposit. So that tells you that at the end of the day, I'm not holding you hostage of a damn thing. And if $50 holds you hostage of something, well, your life needs to be reevaluated because $50 ain't gonna hold me hostage to a damn thing. If life happens and I gotta miss out on something, I just gotta miss out on something. Life happened for me that same 2 weeks and I had to give up $1,400. And was I gonna let that hold me hostage? No. Did I think about it? Yes. But God blessed me in the end and I ended up getting all my money back even though it was non-refundable. Hello? Hello? So after she said what she said, I guess because she needed to get the last word, she said, I don't appreciate you calling me. Have a great day. And I'm hanging up on you. And she hung up. I'm going to look on the phone. I looked at the phone. Let me turn off the patois. I looked at the phone. And I just said to myself, I laughed. And I said, I can't believe this bitch just hung up on me. I said, I can't believe she just hung up on me. So when Junie comes in the house, because he was in the garage, I said, babe, let me tell you about this woman. I said, let me tell you about this woman. He looked, he was like, for real? I said, yeah. Yo, and when I tell y'all, I had already refunded her, canceled her appointment, and banned her because you can read a person's spirit before they even sit around you. I don't take negativity in my chair. So guess what? From the day where she did text me, whatever she was texting me, you couldn't have sat in my chair anyway. I had already said I was going to block you anyway. After servicing you, I was going to let you know that at the end of the day, you won't be able to be serviced by me again. I'm in a one service here anyway. I'm in a care if you're here, I drop off. And if I drop off, and if I drop off, until I drop off, I won't touch it. Because at the end of the day, people like you bring negative energy around. They bring bad spirits around. And God knows why that lady canceled her appointment, because her energy could have ruined my entire day even more. So sometimes you don't know when it's a blessing to be blocked. She out herself of a blessing. I assume so. And I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm God's gift to the world. But I'm human. I'm human. I am human. I bleed. If you pinch me, I say ouch. So on this planet that we live in, if people really think the world surrounds them, no matter if you could have spent $6 million with me, I would cancel your damn deal too. I don't care about that. My family comes first. Family comes first. I come first. Okay? Because guess what? If you work at Home Depot and your daughter calls or your son calls and said, Ma, this girl just laughed at me because I have a wedgie and I don't want to be here today. Guess what you're going to go tell your boss? Sir, I have to go. I got a family emergency. I'll be right back, but I got to go. I can't stay. All the way to my tell say I have to stay. You looking at him like, I don't care about this job. I got to go. It's about family. It could be something so tiny as that. It could be something so tiny as that you will stop your day and go do what you need to do. If you really care about your family that much. If you really care about yourself that much. Work or not. So what would make anyone think that I'm going to hold them hostage for a $50 deposit or a $100 deposit or a $500 deposit? I did everything under my power, in my power, to be a convenience to you. And at the end of the day, you made it an inconvenience to me on a day that I was already inconvenienced. Yo, when I tell y'all that day right there, I was just like, this really happened. So I'm just going to say it, at the end of the day, one thing I learned that it's not really the problem, it's how you deal with the problem. And I chose that day to give her my flesh, because I was going to really give her my flesh. And the day before, I was going to give her my flesh and tell her who not to play with. But there's a God. And he definitely was in my ears the whole time that I was texting in my head, my thoughts of where you can go suck. I'm going to tell her. And don't chat to me about nothing, because I don't really care about it. I was already not in the right place. But I still was willing to do what I had to do because you centered your life around me. Okay? I don't center my life around people. I center my life around myself and my family. That's all that matters. So, yeah, life happened. That was just one of the stories within the midst of what was going on in my storm. I gave y'all a piece of what was going on in the other story within this story. That's another story time all on its own, because that school right there, I got to wait till I sit down and really write my review properly and make the world know about this school right here. But it's okay. It's okay. We'll talk about that on another story time. This is why I like you, Crystal. You keep it real. You guys are funny. She wouldn't have been satisfied no matter how good a job you did. I believe so, Vanita. I believe so. You really give a sermon in the story today. May God continue to bless you. Thank you. So all of the experience was God's gift to you. It was, because it taught me who not to put in my chair. We all have issues. Yes, we all are human. Your physician has a family, and not because you're going through your storm, that doesn't mean that he's not going through storms too. People like to put professions in front of the actual flesh, a title in front of the flesh, and that's where things go wrong. Your pastor is a man or a woman before they are a pastor, not because. Okay, God created men and women first, not doctor, lawyer, and teacher first. So people have issues too. And those people who hold those titles, they sacrifice their time and their energy every single day to come around you and give you 100% of themselves when they are negative 2% of themselves. So you don't know what storm a person is going through. You don't know if that day that I was doing your hair, because my mind was so cloudy, I cut some of your hair instead of actually adding some. This is what happens. People don't understand that sometimes you got to know that there's people around you who have lives too. You can't just live for yourself. You can't. You have to live for everybody. You have to know that, man, maybe I shouldn't swerve around the road because the person behind me could hit another car. That's called not living for just you. And unfortunately, people still live for just themselves. But she found the right person that day. And I know that that's going to keep resonating in her head every time she approaches another stylist. And don't play with me. Every time you approach a person and you think that your bubble is the only bubble right here, and it's 7 million bubbles floating around you. We all in our own damn bubble. We all got our own problems. I love to hand you mine, but I don't think you can handle them. I love story time. It's a helpful affirmation to start the day. Thank you. So now you have forced me to take stock of my intentions and put more light in the world. Crystal, there will always be some people in this world who will always think about themselves and no one else matters as long as they get what they want. Absolutely. That's what Miss Ad, you said a whole mouthful. That's what people expect for you to do. Talk crazy to them. That's why they have to continue to grow. That's why you have to continue to grow and stay humble. Oh, yes, that's true. I try. But yes, guys, that was my story time that I promised to give you guys. That was one of two. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yes, me personally, I'm more than certain that person probably watches my YouTubes just the same. And I hope when you're watching this YouTube that you take this as a lesson to yourself, that you need to check yourself every day of the week, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, because you don't know what a person is going through. You really don't. And I can promise you, you wouldn't have wanted to be in my shoes that day. Oh, I can promise you that. People are so busy trying to find the bad in others. The deal is they block out the good. Crystal, you did the right to cancel her, but the next time leave her appointment canceled. Absolutely. And I said that to myself that day. I said, you see what reached me? I should have canceled and left it canceled. But being myself and not wanting to disappoint people and always wanting to be the solver, okay? Because that's one thing about cancers. We're solvers. We always want to solve the problem. And it is the biggest weakness on the planet. While it is a strength, it's more of a weakness, because you always want to help people, but no good deed goes unpunished. Not one of them. No good deed goes unpunished. You can see a car coming and push the person out of the way because the car's coming, and the car rolled by. And instead of the person saying, oh my gosh, thank you so much for saving me, they say, oh my gosh, you made me scrape my knee. Bitch, I just saved your life. Fuck your knee. Oh, okay. Okay. There we go. All right, you guys. Well, I hope everybody has a good day. This story time happened like almost 2 weeks ago. Almost. But I definitely wanted to share because I know it's a learning lesson or it's a lesson for a lot of people, right? And it's after the fact. So I could use that as my testimony as to how I handled the situation, even in the midst of my flesh telling me, you know how you always see those cartoons where one red person is sitting here and then the white one is sitting here, and the white one is saying, don't do it, my sister. You don't need it. And the red one is saying, give it to our clot. Tell her about yourself. Give her your tongue. It happens, y'all. It happens. It happens. All right, you guys. Everybody go have a successful Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your day. What am I cooking today? Today's my daughter's birthday. Her actual birthday. So she wanted steak. So I'm going to make some steak tonight. And then some chicken breasts for my other half. But I appreciate you guys. Peace.